I escaped slavery as a torso in Kenshi and decided to get my revenge as a warlord. But, like every great story, we start at the beginning. I'd skip it, but Kenshi insists I suffer chronologically. So get ready to watch one limbless idiot conquer a nation. Thanks to all of my training, I'd leveled my athletics pretty significantly. So, next up, strength. I bought a small shack, filled it with copper chests, hired a worker to mine the deposit so I could keep moving, and spent hours walking back and forth over encumbered, carrying a living skimmer. After running back and forth for multiple hours, I finally reached a desired level.
Nice.
Luckily enough, the limb shop in Heft sold a decent pair of scout legs, so that's when I decide to graduate from lowly copper miner to one of Kenshi's coolest professions, drug smuggler. Business was good. So good, I thought drug smuggling was going to be the backbone of my empire. I could hire crafters, workers, warriors, and supply them with materials to level their crafts. But trying to balance smuggling and keeping my crafters supplied at the same time made one thing painfully obvious. I needed an upgrade. No more cramped living. I needed to expand. I needed a place that could grow with my empire. And so, a new era begins. Welcome to the White Cum Coast. Once my workers were fully automated, I realized smuggling wasn't enough. I needed more capital. Enter the Black Desert. The Black Desert isn't just home to ruthless murder bots that happily bask in acid rain day and night. It also houses a small settlement, complete with a cybernetics shop. This is where I bought a set of industrial lifter arms, and after installing them, I noticed something interesting. I could effortlessly access the trader's chest and steal so many cybernetic limbs that money would never be a problem again. Now that I had money, resources, food, and a base of operations, there was one thing left before I could properly take my revenge: an army. This would be the point where typically I would run around the map, gathering as many workers as I can to train them into warriors. But that's just boring, so I'm going to go visit some old friends. Say hello to the broken ones. Master, don't protect the master, don't be afraid, master. You'd think bringing these guys back to base would be a breeze. You'd be wrong. These guys take every opportunity to pounce on their enemies like a crack fiend on Meow Meow. But after a countless number of brawls, I think the drugs finally wore off, because somehow I managed to escort these lunatics back to base and eventually recruit them using the Recruit Prisoners mod. There were problems, of course, problems I had already anticipated. Their gear was trash. I was going to say that their stats were trash, but looking at it again, holy shit, but they could be better. So I set my workers to task, crafting the armor and weapons these botlets would need to evolve into what a certain someone would call Chadbots. Training was non-stop. I dedicated 2 entire buildings solely to training these rusted rejects into instruments of conquest: strength, toughness, dexterity, dodge, melee defense, and finally, martial arts. After weeks of suffering, these filthy little botlets finally metamorphosed into an unstoppable force of absolute chads, each named after the greatest figures in history. Suka Fedik, Lik Migush, Rim Job, and so on. And just to put the final polish on this walking apocalypse, I upgraded them with superior cybernetic limbs. Behold, a war party engineered for one purpose only: the complete annihilation of the holy nation, and frankly, anything else foolish enough to stand in their way. So without further ado, it's wartime.
I'll see to it myself that your darkness is burnt. Destroy it, Pinacon's flame. Can I now finally take a stroll in the grasslands without holier-than-holy paladins breathing down my neck? And the skeletons can finally take over the world in peace?
The holy nation is no more. I won, and I don't think they're gonna be enslaving anybody else ever again. But in order for me to get a proper, satisfying revenge, there is one last thing I need to do.
Hello, Nerevar. You probably didn't expect me, the awakened lord of the 6th house. That's because this YouTuber forgot to uninstall a mod for my mask. Anyway, he hopes you enjoyed the video. Lots of love from the Lord of the Mountain. Oh, and like and subscribe, or he'll step on your balls, and not in the fun way.